When you're thinking of gladiatorial contests and fights, you're usually thinking the Colosseum, and you're absolutely right. But it's worth thinking that the Colosseum wasn't exactly the most immediate place that any gladiatorial combats would have taken place. And that's because if we take the date when it opened, AD 80, and the traditional date of the first gladiatorial fights in Rome, 264 BC, that gives us quite a bit of time. In fact, it's 344 years. So the question is, where were the fights happening in Rome? The answer is most likely there wasn't one specific place. In fact, it's not until middle of the 1st century BC that we hear of the first wooden amphitheatre at Rome, and it's not until around 29 BC that we hear of the first stone amphitheatre in Rome. And it's argued that between those points, what we have are temporary wooden structures being used in and around Rome, probably in the Field of Mars, and also some buildings being used to house the sort of gladiator fights, such as the Septa, and also, you've got to remember, the Forum Boarium, the cattle market of Rome. And it makes sense in a way why that was the case. That's largely because these would have been privately sponsored things. These were funeral games, at least until the imperial period. So you wouldn't want to build something really big and massive for other people to use. You just want that structure for your own use, for your own funeral games. If you like gladiator stuff, click follow, and if you want any questions answered, stick them in the comments.